Hi everyone, it's Don from Crux Terminatus. Today I'm going to walk you through the Minotaurs Chapter Master, Asterion Moloc. I used P3, a privateer press paint called Blighted Gold, to get the base metallics down. I know there are some other manufacturers around, but I quite liked that one. I then used Dwarf Bronze to paint the sort of middle of all the panels, leaving the sort of darker colour in the recesses. So you can see here I'm basically quite thin coats of that paint just to try to bring out that colour. Quite like the effect. And what I'm going to do is put a black wash and then a Fleshshade wash on top, just to make the colours just look that slightly more that 300. This is Sparta type colour, which is obviously what I was aiming for. Really difficult for me to do this any kind of justice whatsoever, but loving the journey, and I love sharing it with you guys, especially if you put some comments to cheer me along. That'd be great. And at the end I was using Burnished Gold to bring out the high level details, like the bridge of his helmet there. As I say, quite liking the way this is coming along. There's going to be a lot of red going on to this model, as befitting the Minotaurs chapter. So red gore and then blood red for the sort of torso strands, I don't know what you would call them, and then I highlighted them with scarlet red, and then you'll see in a second I also go on and edge highlight them with blazing orange. I use the same colour palette for the Minotaur's icon of the Minotaur head, obviously, and use that to edge highlight the icons and the shield, the leg and the pauldron. Doing such bold edge highlights has never really been something I've been particularly comfortable with, but I've seen lots of other people do this on YouTube, and I thought, yeah, I'll give it a bash, and from a distance it actually looks fantastic. And again, rather than trying to do a wash, I painted these ones just as they were, and the effect is pretty straightforward. I go over them a couple of times, but I quite like the bold effect with the sort of black recesses and shadows. So you'll see there that I painted this sort of triangular arrows on his legs and his shield white, whereas a lot of other people have painted them black. No real reason for it. Just wanted to make it a slightly different take on the standard, which is what I do a lot. And this is for the laurel wreath at the bottom, so it's Dark Angel's green, Scorpio green, and sorry, Snot green and then Scorpio green. And I had to freehand the icons again because they were kind of blocked out and they didn't particularly cast very well, but I do that on his legs as well. And the little stoppers at the bottom of the leather straps, I made them sort of green glass, and this is just my sort of standard red lens or red glass bead part there. So purple wax for the purity seal, just to make it stand out against the lots of red. So yeah, quite liking it so far. Then we come to the slightly more tricky part of getting the rest of the detail on. And again, trying to learn something all the time is quite a difficult thing. So I put the blue trio of colours on for this, so Regal Blue, Enchanted Blue, and then Hawk Turquoise, and then ended up with a little bit of white just on the tip of this. I've seen it painted lots of different ways with power, lightning bolts and flames and all sorts of other bits and bobs, but I just wanted quite a simple effect, and rather than sort of separate it down the middle with masking tape, I just went and painted it from the base up to the tip and then back down with the lighter colours from the tip. So that's the Hawk Tortoise going on, and then just a tiny little bit of white, not too much, and that's always been my problem, is going that little bit too far and then you can't take it off, you have to start all over again. So just a tiny little bit to indicate the power. And then it was a case of a really heavy black wash over some chainmail to give it that sort of industrial feel. The colours come back on my camera there, that's good. We're now into the assembly phase, so I had to go and buy some new super glue because my old stuff packed in halfway through. And you can see the cloak there that I did in the other tutorial, that's how it really looks in real life, as opposed to this more orangey tint that came through in the video. So it's a great shot of some super glue there, well done me. The cloak, incidentally, if you're ever buying this model, the cloak is an absolute nightmare, and I recommend putting it on before you put the arms on, because you'll never get it to stick on otherwise. So that's really the finished model there. I made some little tufts of grass for the first time just to try that as well. Loving the colour of the cloak, actually love the model in itself. Like the way it is, love the positioning of it. It's a really nice piece. Obviously the counterpart, the chaplain that goes with them, I'll tackle that when I get some more time. But for the moment, I hope you've enjoyed following along. It's a lovely model. I love the chapter. As I say, I love the film 300 and the Rise of an Empire as well. So anything that I can do with Space Marines and that kind of stuff, then I'm going to be all over it. So I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed. We're now at 400 subscribers, and that's fabulous. We never thought we'd get anywhere near that. So I'd like to say thank you for everyone who has subscribed, and if not, why not? Please give us a shout and subscribe and comment, and we'd like to say a really heartfelt get well soon to the Real Mithril as well. Thanks guys, cheers, bye bye.